Hey, good morning, man. What that sun's doing. So this morning we gotta do some things. We gotta get these potatoes dug. Our Gaelic buddy Half Can's gonna be interested in this. So we got 5 rows here, 3 rows there. I need to try to get all of them out of the ground today. Let's get this done. Start with our turning fork. First one. I can't do this one-handed. I'll pick y'all up in a little while. There's the results of our first plant. Actually, this was the first plant planted too. Ooh, this could be a bad day. So far, it's not inspiring. It's been the best single plant so far. I'm gonna go weigh these real quick. All right, I weighed those. They were 14.5 ounces, I think, basically 7/8 of a pound. That's on the upper end of what we're getting per plant. This is where I'm at right now. I'm speculating we're getting about ½ pound per plant. I still got a half row there, 3/4 of a row there, and a row there to dig. But we're gonna start getting these up. Not as good as last year, but you can see there's still potatoes. All right, next step.
This how much?
All right, there we go.
Okay.
We got 1 wheelbarrow full plus a bucket and a handful over here. How was?
More buckets.
Let's see, that was 3 rows at 50 foot, 6 rows at 50 foot, plus a few miscellaneous rows. We probably had close to 500 foot of potatoes. We used the Kennebec variety this year that had done really well for us last year. It didn't do as well this year as last year. It's still the second best year we've ever had for Irish potatoes. The differences this year is that it's possible we didn't get them in quite as early this year as last year. Last year we put them in like early February. And then we had a pretty wet spring last year. And it hasn't been a drought this year or anything, but it's been drier and warmer than it was last year. So that's probably the difference in the yield. So for Georgia, this is not potatoes aren't a natural crop for us. They like a lot cooler temperatures and a lot more moisture, and they like a lot richer soil than our clay. We've got a hard clay. But the reason why we keep trying them is because they're an early crop and an early calorie crop. So we can start planting them really early, get an early harvest, and then have an early calorie crop. In the old days, spring used to be called the starving time because you'd done all this work and still had a lot of work to do, but you were about as far from a harvest as you could get almost. And even though winter was over and life was abounding everywhere, you hadn't got anything harvested yet. So an early calorie crop is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So we'll keep working on the potatoes. This wasn't a terrible year. We got 1 whole wheelbarrow's full worth. I'm speculating there's probably over 100 pounds in there. I'm not sure how much over 100 pounds, but that was just when I weighed that one. I did earlier on. I told you I was going to weigh that 1 plant's worth. I did. It was 7/8 of a pound, like 14.5 ounces. That was definitely, there were a few that had more on them than that, but not many. Most had a lot less. So I'm speculating we had about we averaged probably about a half a pound per plant, and I think we had about 250 plants, but it could have been more than that. That cow drives me nuts when she does this. Let's say we had 300 plants. So if we got a half pound off of 300 plants, and all of those numbers are highly speculative, we've got about 150 pounds of potatoes, which I haven't priced 10-pound bags of potatoes in a while, but I'm sure they're not much over $10 a pound or $10 a bag. So $150 worth of potatoes. You don't do it for the monies. Ben, we appreciate you. Thank you.